Timothy did a nice job there. Had he gone in that corner, there's Norm Bending. That's what brought out our caution flag. Norm got into the wall coming off turn number 4. But had Timothy gone in that corner as hard as he could have, then more than likely. Chris Fontaine and the 07 get together. Mike's just trying to get by the 07 of Burt Myers on the inside, and that's where all the contact came from and the damage on Mike Skinner's truck.
Peek at it. Happening a little bit late. He's already up there.
Already in the wall right there. Obviously that right front tire deflated and sent him up to the top of the racetrack. Let's take a look at what Ricky Carmichael and that monster Chevrolet saw. Watch. You see Brian, he felt the tire going down. He moved up the racetrack and just couldn't keep it out of the outside wall. But Ricky does a nice job
today. Let's see if he just drops down and takes off.
Oh yeah. It went down.
That could have been a result of some contact into the wall earlier.
We saw him get riding along with him.
Yeah, looks like Terry cut a tire down there. It was a slow leak. At least it didn't blow out. It deflated. For him to get up there, there's Ricky Carmichael into the outside wall, bringing out the caution.
5th caution of the night. Now it sets up for a great restart. Hornaday come.
There's Brian Scott. I don't know if he maybe cut something down. He was up high. That may be because he had a soft tire, Johnny.
It is. You know, these guys have been out on these tires for quite a long time. So
you on pit road. Watch right in that area as the red truck comes in. Taylor Malsom and Chase Austin collide.
Well, I know we're early into this this pitting procedure, but that was one of the concerns I've had.
That's right. James on the inside of David Starr. Looks like he may have touched the apron there, slid up the racetrack, and again, same situation. He got close to the 24 of David Starr, just lost the air off that rear spoiler. I think he got a little shallow into.
Does a really nice job, though. It gets away from him, but does a nice job of cranking that thing to the right, holding that gas wide open and keeping it out of that outside wall. He can race that truck, and that's a good accomplishment.
Put him some tires on there and races, but he did a nice job here. Normally you would see those trucks back into the outside wall, but by virtue of the fact that he stayed in the throttle, kept the forward rotation going on the rear tires, he kept that thing.
Get to the end of this race.
There's a replay right there. Brett Raymer had a little help. Look, maybe Chris Fontaine, the 84 truck, got into the back of him. Pit road is open. Most of the leaders stay.
Take a look. Hermie Sadler was up on the curb there a bit. 48. Johnny Sauter has to get turned around. At what took place with TJ Bell sideways there coming out of turn 4. Stalled just a bit.
It's pretty difficult to spin right where he did and not hit anything. TJ did a nice job keeping that thing out of the wall.
TJ will need another set of tires, as I'm sure he's flat spotted.
Here, this is the middle of the backstretch. Gets in pretty good, gets to the center, and then just the back end just kicks out a little bit. About the time he was ready to get back in the throttle.
Okay. Hang on, they still ain't throwed the caution. I don't know why.
You can see right in the center of the corner, the back end kicked out, and then once it kicked out, it just snapped.
And he's also staying in the top 10, which I think is very impressive for his first ever start.
He's going to get loose down there, and around he goes.
Talk about it. Sideways goes Austin Dillon. Keep it off the wall, Austin. He does, and that brings out our 4th caution.
That's what we talk about all the time. And when these trucks get side by side, when they lose that downforce, Johnny, it's very, very hard to keep control of them, especially when he's borderline loose anyway.
He was already loose, and in a minute that he got a little.
In the 14, the 6th of Colin Brown is going to come along here on the outside.
Oh, I bet you, yeah, he might have grabbed 3rd gear there, Phil. You thinking?
Might have, yeah.
Will hopped it a little bit. The thing just spun around, either like he put it in 3rd gear and it upset the.
How is he putting oil down on the track right now?
Watch, Harvick slides up in that. He thinks oil from Kyle Busch's truck. If that's the case, when's he going to come to pit road? What's up with the 51 truck?
Exactly. Craft and that, I would think that was probably the precursor to what happened to Jason here.
Yeah, and you generally better make sure if you hit somebody, you can get away from them until they calm down.
Kind of like Jimmy did yesterday. Yeah. Jimmy Johnson when he took. Did a nice job avoiding it. And Ron Hornaday did a nice job not letting that truck. You know, typically your truck will slide up to the outside wall. But Ron did a nice job.
Watch him. He's still driving it. He's still not convinced he can't keep it going straight.
Yeah, the whole time. You see, watch him get back in the throttle.
Need a little gas here
to try to get it back down.
Hornaday battling for second.
Oh, he hits
into the side of him, and Hornaday is going to spin Johnny Benson around.
That was a situation where Ron didn't quite have enough. Like Kevin got a little bit loose, maybe up off of 2, and the 88 had a little bit of a head of steam going and running to the back of him, just a little bit enough to get Kevin out of shape into the outside wall.
You see him making contact with the back of that truck, hard contact into the outside wall. That'll end Kevin's night.
Side trouble.
Problems right there in front of us. The 51 of Brian Eichler goes around.
Ricky Carmichael got to the inside of Brian Eichler, and Brian came down the hill. They made contact. You can see that's the 81 of Taylor Malsom. He's right behind David Starr in the 24. And the back end just gets out from under him. Miranda goes, but watch Ryan Siegel. A little contact with Brian Eichler and the 16 of Brian Scott on the inside.
I think it's a hole in as a whole there.
Our concern to make the distance, Rick Crawford, but you won't hear him complain. He's having a very solid run in the top 5, and we have trouble on the racetrack. Stacey Compton around.
Sideways is Stacey Compton. Ricky Carmichael misses him. The caution flag flies. That was just a situation where he was on the outside.
You heard it blow right there. Brian gets down to the corner, turns his steering wheel. Nothing happens. He goes up there and bounces off Stacey, forces him in the wall. Ray, they're on pit.
Does he come to pit road and put tires on and run 2 laps?
Yeah, there's the right rear tire goes down. Terry just riding along there, right on the bottom of the racetrack. And the right rear goes down and into the outside wall he goes. He was completely by himself, but nothing you can do when you lose a rear tire.
Now, lucky dog.
Ricky Carmichael does get the free pass.
Like Brent might have got a little bit of help from Johnny Sauter
on the racetrack as they enter 3.
Whoa, that thing really got away from him in a hurry. He's lucky to keep it out of the outside wall.
That's really hard to do on a flat track like this. We did a nice job.
When you lose one on entry, everyone wants to get up in that outside wall. So Brad, despite the fact that he's making his first start, he made some.
Patrick, they get together coming off 4. They make some more contact. Now Ricky's going to get down into turn number 1 on the inside. He's going to bounce off that
look
curve.
at those back tires. He got into a wheel hop situation. The back tires got to jump, and he had to let off the brake to keep it from spinning out. But when he let off the brake, he ran in
this point in time. So it may change maybe a little bit of strategy.
Oh, contact.
A little contact there, Stacey Compton. We see the 24, David Starr up into the wall. Caution comes out once again.
And this caution flag right here will come out when most of these guys are in there. We'll have to chase the truck up the hill. He wiggled and had moved up. He tried to stay off of Matt Crafton. Matt does a nice job, and Colin just couldn't keep control of that truck.
Watch it go right here.
It's down. Yep,
boom,
there it goes.
Down.
Great job by the oncoming traffic.
Look at all these trucks here, and they're all going to miss him.
Brian Scott's
been in the middle of every wreck they've had tonight.
Has had his hands full. Well, once again, Ron Hornaday in front of this field as we take another look at the incident with Taylor Malsom.
Yeah, Taylor had just lost the 3rd spot to Mike Skinner, so he was running in 4th.
Drove to the front of this thing and was driving away from him.
Looks like hard contact for J.J. Yaley in that 73.
Back on the fence. Talk to him for me.
I'll give him a call.
Oh, he's going to spin out. No. Get away from that wall. What a shame. He had such a solid first lap.
Trying to get just a little bit more out of it.
Get the backup.
Get the backup.
Monster energy drink.
That's a pretty gutsy move to do that right at the start.
Oh, spinner. Problems. Back in the back, the 92.
Stays out of harm's way. Stays off the racetrack.
At your leader, he was on the tail end of the lead lap. But
problems. Mario Goslin turns around. Can he keep it down low? Try to stay out of the line of traffic. He does an excellent job. Stays to the bottom of the racetrack until they cross the start-finish line. The field goes by. The MyTireMonkey.com truck now headed the right direction once again.
Great job staying off, Ron. He just got a little bit behind in his steering, but did a nice job keeping that truck out of the wall.
He spun out right in Ron Hornaday's lap.
With the 15. Sideways up top again.
Looked like he was just a little bit loose. Terry Cook looked like he did a wonderful job.
A lot of good things for him right now. And he's got that hat. Did y'all see that earlier?
He's got a hat. He's a referee in the spare time.
Whoa! Problems right there. Ricky Carmichael got bumped. It slid him up the racetrack. He hits Brian Scott.
Just lock it down. Lock it down. Lock it down.
You heard Andy Houston saying, lock it down.
Whew. When he said lock it down, that means lock the brakes up. Don't let that thing keep rolling any farther than it needed to.
And I think he was afraid when Ricky got over in that dirt, he didn't want to gas it up.
Wheels up off the ground, I believe.
Yeah, he had some help. He had some help. It turned him right.
Got our defending champion Johnny Benson, that one Red Horse truck right by. Oh, Ricky's getting sideways.
Sideways goes Ricky Carmichael. Will he save it? Johnny Benson taps him. The field slows behind him. How about that for Johnny Benson? The caution flag will come out. Our first caution comes out on lap 3 of this race.
Check it out. This is after it's already happened. But Colin just was on the outside of Todd, and you're just not going to back out at that point.
Right along with Colin Brown.
He's going to get to the outside. Now watch, he's going to get that nose up outside of Todd's truck right there. Boy, he wasn't up there very far, Michael.
But you can't do that, Phil. His spotter must have said clear behind Todd, and Jason said, no, it's not.
And it might have been for a split second, but that's how quickly things happen here at Martinsville. Jason came along to try.
Oh, wow.
He's going to get into the inside wall. I wonder if he...
I think maybe
locked the brakes up, maybe?
He might have let off and
has come out.
There's Max Pappas on the inside. Ooh, he runs over the curb, makes some contact with Burt Myers. I said Burt was going to get the lucky dog. He was in position to get it, but when he gets turned around like that, that's not going to happen. By side, just a simultaneous spin there. Jason on the inside got a little bit loose, lost the air off that spoiler.
Yeah, he definitely got loose and gathered Todd up. And as close as they were to the wall, they're lucky they didn't get that. And as Todd goes definitely.
Just take a look at the replay. What happened to Norm? There he is coming off turn number 4 sideways, makes contact with the inside wall. Ron Hornaday has made his way up to the 13th spot. Remember, he was among the last group of trucks to pit on lap number 129.
he's just hoping some of those guys up ahead of him might come to pit road and get a couple of free spots right here. It looks like Stacy Compton in front of him is coming to pit road, but that's the extent of it. So he'll move up to 12th. He's got the best tires on the... Oh, slid up the hill a little bit, and to avoid running into Terry Cook, he cut his truck harder to the left, Phil, and when they made...
Behind Kyle Busch, who's not here today. There's another look.
He was running about 13th when this happened. Looked like he might have got high, maybe got the right side tires and that loose stuff. When he got sideways, he was trying to catch the truck, and all of a sudden the front end grabbed and it turned him into the outside wall.
I'm seriously considering dropping to the back early on in this race to find out what we've got. He said, I know, I've watched these races, I know how many times there's a big one. He said, I want to finish this race, and now he's in it. He's spinning out on the racetrack.
Brian Scott right in the middle of a 3-wide situation. He gets it pointed the right direction. The caution comes out. And you see that 40, that's Mike Bliss, a new spot. Toyota Tundra.
You can see right there the right front tire goes down. No, absolutely nothing a driver can do about that when the right front tire goes like it did on Terry. Terry had finished on the lead lap here the last 7 races, and unfortunately not gonna happen today.
He's running at the end of all 8 races that have been run at this racetrack, and it doesn't look like that streak will. We're under our first caution. The 07 gets spun around and into the wall.
And no contact from behind. James Busher, the tin truck, was right behind him, but no contact there. Wrong there. He just gets a little bit loose down on the bottom of the racetrack.
Shot it in there really hard. He saw that hole open. We're getting down to 5 to go. He knew he needed to go.
Yeah, he turned him right there going down the back.
Wow.
Into the wall he goes.
Looked like that 39 truck was just trying to squeeze back up in line, and James Fisher was in that hole and didn't let him have the space.
They fought over that all the way down the back till they got down.
A little bit of contact, and then they get hung together. And Chris goes around, then Ricky goes around, gets into the outside wall.
Looked like Ricky had the same thing that sort of happened to Todd Bodine. He couldn't get his steering caught up. He got into the side of the 84 by certainly wasn't intended, but the truck just got to swarping back and forth, and he couldn't quite catch up with it. Just another look from the 4th turn camera, and you can see looks like all 4 tires are probably up right there. I think that air just got him, Phil. He got down, pinched down on the low side, and the thing just spun around on him.
From Phoenix, problem on the racetrack. Taylor Malsom gets turned around. That will give the win to Kevin Harvick. Harvick wins at Phoenix once again.
And Ron Hornaday will be our...
Go to Copart.com for that race. And this is a big battle right now between 8th, 9th, and 10th. A caution comes out on the racetrack. Take a look at that. That's Dennis Setzer in the 8 sliding through the infield, as well as the 81 of Taylor Malsom is stopped on the racetrack.
Wow, caution late. More than likely just locked up those rears. Maybe wheel hopped a little bit and around that thing went. But the guys really want to utilize the rear brake as much as they can. So that's a fine line, that balance, and they're able to adjust that. They're able to have a bunch of car trailers lined up, just open trailers lined up along the inside.
And flowers. Weren't there flowers there?
That's exactly what it looked like right there. You can see he makes some contact with the inside wall. But right about the time he was going to get on the brakes, more than likely had too much rear brake.
And that thing will jump so fast. We saw Sam Hornish do the same thing in cup practice earlier today. The 16 of Brian Scott gets into the back of Terry Cook, and he gets into Todd Bodine, and it ends what looked to be a promising day for Todd.
Yeah. Frustrating, though, obviously.
Watch for the 07. There's looking front. You see the smoke. Dennis Setzer, the 8. Oh, the 84 was in the outside wall. The 07 had slowed. It looked like maybe on the bottom of the racetrack, and then possibly the 10 made contact with him. There's another view. Yes, it looks like maybe the 07 and the 10 possibly got together.
See, Tom Bodine gets sideways and runs into Taylor Malsom, wrecking both of those trucks.
Yeah, just got a little bit loose and had to chase his truck up the hill. Made contact with Taylor. Tough break for both these two trucks.
As far as race strategy, one of Rob Fuller.
So just on the outside of the 51 of Kyle Busch and just lost control, lost the right rear corner. Roundy went and made some pretty significant. He's up.
See everything happening up there. Ricky Carmichael has no idea all this is going on.
Again, contact made between the 6 and the 07. Chad McCumbee may have some front end damage, at least cosmetic damage to the front of that truck as he got into the back of the 6.
Pit road is not open yet. This will be, we're in the window now. This will be the last.
Goes around the outside, the 24 truck. Ooh, Jason White gets sideways, runs into the 14 of Rick Crawford, puts him in the outside wall. David Starr had nowhere to go.
You know, it looked like he just got loose. Jason White just started to turn just a bit.
It may have been a tire or something go down.
Sitting there chomping at the bit to go get Tom Bodine, and he's got a truck he can do it with.
Ricky Carmichael in the 4 gets turned around. Problems behind him, trying to avoid the 8 of Dennis Setzer.
Try to get back going, bud. Try to get her going.
But he might know something about.
Oh, problems on the racetrack. The 44's around into Mario Goslin, and so that's the 44 of Tommy Joe Martins got turned around and into the 12 of Mario Goslin, bringing out our 3rd caution of the day. Didn't mean to startle you there, DW.
He lost that one, and now he's into the wall over on turn 2.
Sure enough, we saw the right front tire just shred there, and into the wall goes Colin. Also the 6 of Colin Brown. They were 1 and 2. Kyle loses the lead. Also Colin Brown now gets into the wall.
Michael, we knew that they couldn't do it. We knew they couldn't run that far. That leaves David Starr, the 24 truck, with the lead. Adam.
I believe he can get the pit road, pull the fender out, and still have a fast truck. You can see Colin Brown up ahead. He just barreled right into the outside wall.
Mike Skinner goes by. Colin Brown inherits the lead.
After contact has already been made.
Right as he dove off into turn 1, looked like a thing just went straight into the outside wall.
And absolutely nothing he could do but just go along for the ride.
You wouldn't think that after we've just saw the nationwide cars run up to 6 inside of Johnny
he gets
Saunders,
completely sideways.
Gets loose and overcorrects, and wham, Brian Scott minding his own business and gets taken right into the wall. At trucks that'll do that. He and Colin Brown.
No! The 15 of Eichler gets into the back of the 24 and sliding back in front of the field, and now we've got a couple other trucks that have tied up.
Got clipped.
Man, Skinner did an awesome job missing that crash.
Was speeding, but here's how this incident started here.
Oh, wow.
Down to the bottom of the racetrack.
Looked like McCumbee.
That was actually Hornaday looked like he got on the inside of that yellow line, and it sent him up the racetrack.
McCumbee cut across in front of Hornaday. It took Hornaday's angle away. He slowed down, and Stacy Compton just drove right in the back of him. I'm not sure. It looked like Hornaday was.
You can see right there the back starts to pull around. There's no side force on the truck. And, you know, it could have been a lot worse than that. You know, he hits the wall. Yeah, it does some pretty good damage, but nobody else was involved. Nobody hits him. And the 9 looked like he got away without hitting anything.
Coming in right at your screen, they're already together there. Somehow they got together getting in the corner. Both make pretty significant contact with the outside wall.
And again, there's a competition caution scheduled around lap.
Wide here.
Take a look at this. David Gilliland again on the tail end. Nine goes around. He was your race leader, and into the wall he goes.
Back down through traffic. I hope everybody can dodge him.
Still coming. They're still coming.
So close. Wall. I mean, Kyle just thought that he was going to get in behind the 6, and he totally ran into the right rear quarter of him and crashed him.
What a Dale Busch in front of Colin Brown, and that actually is a pass. I had mentioned earlier that Kyle won the race.
J.R. Fitzpatrick, around he goes.
In front of the traffic. He slides into the wall. Let's see if everyone stays away as he tries to keep it
pretty hard
in the middle of the track.
Man, he is taking his.
Problems behind him. Into the wall goes the 4.
Terry Cook's going to hit the inside wall.
Inside wall. Those two pinched together. There was a truck in the middle of that.
Yeah, it wasn't Terry Cook and Ricky Carmichael that got together initially. Gears gets down to the inside, and just TJ was kind of moving his way over there, and Todd made contact just about before it was even time to get on the brakes.
That was a big crash here at Martinsville. You don't tear one up much worse than that here.
Slammed into the inside wall, and then
it turned through the center, but as it exited, it washed up, got right next to the 16 of Brian Scott. He couldn't hold on to it.
If he could have maintained that several feet in between he and Brian Scott, he probably would have been okay. But once he got out next to Brian Scott, then all the downforce went off the back of that truck.
unfortunate for Timothy Peters. Our first caution of the night has come out.
And Stancil just gets a little bit loose up off of turn number 2. He had the 41 truck of Mark Mitchell behind him, makes some pretty hard contact with the inside wall.
Man, that's a helpless feeling when that thing jumps out from underneath you like that. Ben, the other truck I think was a factor, Phil. Look how close he is. Just sucks that truck right around. And look at that.
Wow. I think the officials are going to
bringing him to the green flag. Ron Hornaday, 8 laps to go.
And he had at least 2 truck links when he got to the start-finish line. Oh, Todd gets turned.
Todd slides to the inside. Will he slide back up in the groove? Yes, and more contact. Rick Crawford is involved. Colin Brown is involved.
That was just a huge misfortune there. Man, Todd looked like he saw the 33 come and tried to.
The truck has been very, very good tonight. Look at Tom O'Neill go to the outside of him. Oh, we got a crash. Terry Cook just behind him.
Terry Cook in the 25 trying to hang on. Now he slides down in front of another truck and into the infield area.
Gets clobbered by Brian Eichler.
You can see the rear end has moved way.
Probably clobbers.
Right, yeah, there's Eichler right there clobbering that Harris Trucking Toyota of Terry Cook.
The go from Gateway.
Crafton's all over him. He's got a run, a little bit of a run. He moves to the inside. There's the contact.
Contact again. Crafton gets into the back of the 33, and Hornaday spins around. Oh, and big contact behind him. That's the 07 that gets into the 33. Jason Young driving that.
Curbing on the inside of the racetrack. So it was a lot later. You see Jason Young come along with nowhere to go. And then Mikey Kyle
trying to make his move to the outside, and we have trouble on the back straightaway.
Problems for the 14 and the 5. Now they all bottle up behind them. The 16's into the wall. Hornaday, your championship leader, is into the wall. A lot of damage on the back stretch. Oh, and Max Pappas gets into the 5 of Mike Skinner as they're slowing down the back stretch.
Wow.
Johnny Sauter was trying to get back in line in the middle.
5.
Brian Scott had really moved up through the field.
And this is that situation right here where this could definitely have been avoided. A little give right there would have made that not happen.
Especially this early in the race.
Yeah.
First caution of the day in California.
Outside of a 33 of Hornaday. It looks like Todd drifts up the hill, gets into him a little bit, turns him sideways.
James was perfect. He was up beside Hornaday racing for the lead, and Todd just, and you know, we talked about how difficult it is to race a truck through the tri-oval. Todd couldn't get his truck turned, and he got into the left rear of Busher.
They call it a straightaway, but it's really not. It's just turned her down on the grass. Here's another view here. There's a contact right there. Watch this now.
What if you're James Busher, 18 years old, racing for the lead at Daytona and get taken out by a veteran? That's got to make you scratch your head. He's the one that's supposed to make the mistake.
And made that pass.
And look at Terry Cook going around the outside of Kyle Busch. Did that thing sputter on the get-go, Phil?
It looked like it sputtered. It looks like it's not up to speed. Now it's getting up to speed.
Here comes Colin Brown on the outside, trying to take over second from Kyle Busch.
Oh!
Kyle Busch in front of it, but it's the 6 of Colin Brown that got turned around and hard into the inside wall.
Boy, straight into that inside wall.
Wow, just in front of this truck was the 51 of Kyle Busch. He had to have had some help getting around coming out of
Yeah, they got all bottled up. When Terry Cook got on the outside.
Look, he's going to be right of your screen. Ooh, hard contact. And there wasn't another truck anywhere near him. It looks like something may have broken on his truck or something to sit in the wall like that. Or maybe did he get loose and maybe overcorrected?
Yeah, it looked like if what happened the lap before happened again, he might not have been as fortunate with his save. Now watch this thing pound the wall one more time.
Again, as you mentioned, no safer barriers, but the good.
I believe it is. I believe it is.
Take another look. There, Skinner was in the grass. Now you see the caution light come on.
See the roof flap goes up, and then TJ Bell. Ooh, wow.
He had no idea. TJ Bell had no idea that 5 was coming up the racetrack.
No, he couldn't. He couldn't. Even if he had it, there wasn't anywhere he could have went.
Nothing he could have done.
This is real time. The 5 truck on the inside. Skinner gets sideways.
Just jumps around with him. You can see he's got his wheels cut to the right, trying to save it from it spinning, and he never got them turned back to the left. And when it got straightened up, you know, it didn't have any way else to go except for into that outside.